Hello and welcome to this week's Tuesday Tip. This is Reggie Patterson, and tonight we are going to be talking about how you can create a more profitable list using segmentation. Now, if you are like most marketers, you maintain 2 or 3 lists, including a prospect list, a buyer's list, and a list of affiliates or joint venture partners. These are all good lists to have. However, if you're not segmenting these lists, then you're not making the most of them. That's because a segmented list lets you send targeted content and offers to specific groups of people, which can mean higher conversions for you. Now, before we talk about different ways to segment your list, let's back up for a second and define segmenting a list. Segmenting a list means you separate your main lists into highly targeted micro lists. You don't necessarily need to create separate lists, as most email service providers will let you tag people, which you can then send out targeted content to people who possess a certain tag in your database. The most basic segments that you keep separate are the buyer's list, the prospects list, and the partners list. However, you can take this one step further. For example, you can segment your list according to exactly what product a buyer purchased. This not only tells you what interests the buyer, but it also ensures you don't send out an email promoting a product that the person has already bought. Let's take a look at different ways to segment your list and then how to use these segments. First is segment by lead magnet. If you have multiple lead magnets, then one good way to segment your prospect list is by how the person arrived on your list. Specifically, what lead magnet did they request? For example, you might have a website about getting out of debt and saving money. If someone joins a webinar that's specific to saving money for a child's college education, then you can send out highly targeted ads and content that refer to a child. Next is segment by product purchased. Whether someone purchases one product or everything you have, segment your list according to these products. As mentioned, you can ensure you don't send offers to people who've already purchased a particular product. You can also use this information to send highly targeted back-end offers. For example, if someone purchases a membership into your weight loss site, then you might send them an offer for personalized nutrition coaching. This information also comes in handy to segment your list by your very best customers who buy nearly everything and those who've only purchased an offer or two. For example, you can send out a special bonus or sale invitation to reward your best customers. Then we have segmenting by coupons and sales. It's useful to know if a person only buys when there's a sale or if they buy at full price too. You can segment your list by who takes advantage of sales, and then send out content that appeals to bargain seekers versus those who purchase for other reasons. You can also segment according to how someone reached your site. Sometimes you might segment people according to which affiliate sent them, if they arrived through your social media page, if they came through a paid advertisement, etc. For example, if you send out an email encouraging people to follow you on Facebook, then you can exclude the people who already do. Segment by contest entrants. Many times, contest entrants tend to be colder prospects than people who requested a lead magnet. That's why you'll want to keep your contest entrants separate and send out a welcome series of emails to engage them. Segment according to answers. The idea here is to ask your subscribers what specific topics interest them, and then segment your list according to their answers. That way, you can send out only the content that most interests a subscriber, which will keep them engaged and keep your list from growing cold. For example, you might ask online business owners to check off all the topics that interest them, such as social media marketing, SEO, list building, blogging, guest blogging, JV marketing, viral marketing, and so on. Segmenting by demographics. Your autoresponder may capture your subscriber's location automatically when they join your list. This is helpful because it allows you to send out emails to specific locations around the world when you know your audience is likely to be awake. Aside from location, you can also collect other demographic data if you think this might be helpful in sending targeted content. However, you'll need to think through this carefully because usually you collect this information by asking your audience when they're joining your list. The problem is the more questions you have on your sign-up form, the lower your conversion rate. So only collect extra data if you're sure it will have a big impact on your conversions. For example, let's suppose you're offering weight loss information. You might want to segment your list by both age and gender, as a 20-something male is going to have different interests and needs when it comes to weight loss versus a 50-something female. Now here's a little tip. One way you can collect this data is after someone has already signed up for your list. For example, you can ask subscribers to click one link if they're a male and a different link if they're a female, and then give all respondents a free gift just for answering the question. If your autoresponder supports tag, then merely clicking on the link will let you segment the list by gender. Now, to sum things up, while I've given you a good jump on different ways to segment your list, these aren't the only ways to do it. That's why you'll want to sit down and think about your specific list and what specific data would be most helpful to you in sending out targeted content and offers. If it's data you can collect automatically without having to ask the user, then go ahead and collect it. It's better to create segmenting tags and never use them than to suddenly want to use them but not have them. Now, before we go, I just wanted to mention that you can still grab our free report, 10 Fast and Easy Ways to Build Your Lead Magnet, at IamProfitsCoach.com. And you can also get complimentary access to our latest 3 products when you join our Insiders Club at impc.ws/14day. Okay, that's all for tonight. I will see you again next Tuesday. Take care.